Hi, I'm Rihanna with Grub, and we just finished a really awesome pantry clean out with Kate and Steve. Kate and Steve just moved into a brand new house, and they were really excited about their new open walk-in pantry. And Kate had us come in and do a revamp on it and make some more nourishing, help her make some more nourishing choices on her side of the pantry. She's done a lot of work in the last year choosing more real foods, taken a lot of sugar out, she's taken gluten out, and she's feeling so much better in her body. But one of her stumbling blocks is that when she comes home and looks in her pantry, her husband Steve still has it packed with all of his favorite treats, which are really, really tempting to her, understandably. So stuff like this calls to her when she opens up the pantry. There's still loads of gluten in here, and she just doesn't want it anywhere near her foods. Really old spices he's not willing to part with that may or may not have MSG or gluten in them, and so she was feeling overwhelmed and had us come in to basically separate out her part of the pantry from her husband's. This is something that's very common if you are in a home where not everyone is eating the same way. It may actually be easier to put your items in their own space and label them as yours. Now this is easy to do in this big pantry, but you can easily do it at home as well with just one little shelf carefully labeled. So we have over here Kate's nourishing pantry. So when she comes into this space, she'll train herself to not even look over here and just go to where her choices are, the things that feed her and nourish her and make her body feel good. We went grocery shopping with Kate. We picked out some new items to add to her pantry and wanted to just highlight a couple of those things. So first of all, Kate is a green smoothie addict. She loves her morning green smoothie and it really fuels her. She was putting just a lot of fruit and vegetables in her smoothie, which is awesome and nourishing, but without that fat and that protein to stabilize her blood sugar, she was getting hungry about an hour later. So what we did was add some foods like chia seed to Kate's smoothie. Chia is a powerful little seed, and it offers loads of good healthy essential fatty acids, omega-3s, and also a little bit of protein and fiber. So this helped to stabilize Kate's blood sugar in her smoothie and give her just that much more nourishment. She also added some grass-fed gelatin to her smoothie. And this is something that offers a ton of really bioavailable protein for the body. This does come from cows. It has no flavor. It has no odor. It's simply a white powder. And when Kate started adding this to her smoothies, she even noticed that her joint health was improved. She had some inflammation and joint issues. So gelatin's a really fun one to add to your nourishing pantry. Kate stopped using bottled salad dressings. It's somewhere in here is Wishbone Italian and French dressing. She doesn't use those anymore. She makes her own dressings in her blender now, and to do that she uses a really high quality extra virgin olive oil. She doesn't heat this olive oil, she consumes it raw in her salad dressings. We actually showed her how to make a carrot ginger dressing last night using this olive oil and other wholesome ingredients, and she was really blown away by the quality and the taste. Let's see, Kate has a sweet tooth, and that's an okay thing. So we've mixed up some trail mix for her. In addition to some raw nuts, which are loaded with fat and protein, we mixed in a little bit of dried fruit and some chocolate chips, just to give her that sweet fix when she really, really wants one, and to help her avoid going for the large Nestle bar that's sitting over here. So that's awesome. A few other things. Kate is learning to cook. And really wanted to be more comfortable with her spices. She really loves curry powder, and her husband doesn't, so she hadn't eaten it for years, or she would always eat it when she went out. We encouraged her to pick up some curry powder, and one of the things in curry powder that's really appealing to her is the turmeric. Turmeric is a super powerful anti-inflammatory root, and it's that gorgeous bright orangey color. You can see it here. And Kate is learning to sprinkle this turmeric onto her dishes. And the curry powder, we made a collard ribbons and grass-fed beef with her yesterday, and the curry powder brought awesome flavor. So she's got her own little basket actually. When she's ready to cook, she can pull out her spices, their quality, she knows where they came from. She's got her sea salt, of course, in here, and the things that she needs to feel in control of her cooking when she is cooking for herself and not with her husband. Lastly, Kate is making her own probiotics in the form of water kefir. So we've stocked her with some live active cultures and all of the supplies that she needs to brew and ferment her own probiotic soda. It just takes a couple of days, and she's got her glass jars and her bottle to put her finished soda in, and then of course the dried fruit, some apricots here. The water kefir cultures love apricots, and sugar. That's what the cultures consume in order to make the probiotic lacto-fermented drink. So again, in her pantry, she's got her make her own probiotic section. She's got glass jars with her nuts and seeds and nourishing choices. Foods like canned wild Alaskan salmon for quick lunches, to just mash some avocado in there and make a really nutrient-dense snack or lunch very quickly. And nuts, nut butters, oils. Ooh, speaking of oil, I wanted to just point out one last thing. Kate needed to move away from the Crisco and the canola oil that her and her husband had been using, so we introduced her to coconut oil, and she absolutely loves it. Coconut oil has a ton of health benefits. It can be used very easily in cooking and baking, but what we found is really useful for Kate in using the coconut oil, she wanted to explore oil pulling, and that's the process of putting an oil in your mouth first thing in the morning and swishing it around through your teeth for 20 minutes. It sounds crazy, but it's actually proven to be really effective for oral health. Kate has some issues with her gums, and so wanted to start this, and we suggested that coconut oil be the oil she used for her oil pulling because it has these powerful antimicrobial, antibacterial properties. She's going to test it out with her oil pulling and see if the medicinal properties of coconut oil work for her. This is one of those really neat examples of how food can heal and can be used medicinally. So she set up with a huge jar of coconut oil for pulling and for cooking. And for a slightly higher heat, coconut oil is high heat, but sometimes she really likes to fry something up in the pan, and we suggested that she try some ghee. Ghee can go up to about 400, 450 as a smoke point, and it's basically clarified butter. It's butter with all of the milk solids and milk proteins taken out, so you're just left with the lovely, luscious milk fat, the stuff that makes butter taste really good. And this is a saturated fat that we're actually finding is good for you. It has CLEs in it, conjugated linoleic acid, a really powerful essential fatty acid that we're identifying is a neat antioxidant as well, especially good for cancer prevention in women. Who knew? So ghee, coconut oil, all these new cooking oils in Kate's pantry have her completely stocked and feeling really, really excited about cooking in her new home with this fresh start. So that's what we have for you, Kate and Steve's new pantry. Hopefully, maybe Steve might glance over here and see some of the ingredients in Kate's pantry and be inclined to use them. If not, that's okay, but Kate at least knows that she has her area for keeping herself nourished, for keeping her body feeling awesome. So that was a pantry makeover with Grub. We're glad you joined us today, and we'll see you at the next one.